Do you want some secrets for getting a great display case inexpensively? Stay tuned. Bob Johnson here again from PK&W Railroad with another installment in my Frugal Modeler series. This video is about how I have gotten over the course of the year several display cases very inexpensively. If you're a modeler, you've got models you want to display. Even if you have a big layout, you can't put everything on your layout. So it's great to have a place to keep things dust-free with a light that's attractive, that other people can look at and enjoy, and you can get inspired by looking and enjoying at your work in a great environment. And so that means you need a glass display case. But fine furniture display cases are expensive. And so my primary secret, if you want to call it a secret, for getting an inexpensive display case is to go to retail stores that are going out of business. Watch display cases, jewelry display cases, things like that you'll find are going to have glass fronts, and they're going to be a good candidate for displaying your work. Now, it's a fact of life these days with the internet. In the internet age, brick and mortar stores are going out of business. Nothing we can do about it. You might as well benefit from it. So watch for stores that are closing. They're going to have a lot of signage showing a few days left, and that's the time to go in and buy the fixtures. They're selling everything, not just the materials, the goods that they normally have in the store for sale when it was open, but also the fixtures themselves, and that includes the display cases. So watch for the stores that are closing. When you go in, look for glass fronts. You got to have a glass front display case to display your models. You may see a lot of other things at these sales that might be useful to you, and we'll talk a little more about that later, but this is focusing on the display cases. So when you see display cases, what you're looking for is something with glass shelves and lighting, or a place for you to install a light. On the B-roll, you'll see my latest display case acquisition. I've had it for a couple of years, but it shows you an example. This was a case where it had glass shelves, it had a very dark back, it had a valance for a light, but no light installed. So it was a good candidate. Now, when you're looking at these display cases, make sure that it's freestanding. A lot of the things at retail stores are linked together in a long unit, kind of like a sectional sofa, except it's a sectional display case. They can't really stand up on their own unless they're attached to one next to it. That might work for your application, but it might not. So make sure that it stands up independently. Also, make sure that it's stable when you open those heavy glass doors. Ask me how I know. This display case that you're seeing had a 3/4 inch thick back of press board or masonite or something very heavy. I took it off and replaced it with something thinner, and it's not as stable as it could be. So make sure that it stands alone and that it stands upright. Now, a liquidation is a lot like an estate sale that I covered in my last video. Materials are being sold by a professional liquidator. They don't have any emotional attachment to anything in that store, and they're really not super price sensitive. So bargain. Make an offer. You'll be surprised at what you can get and what a low price you can get. Everything has got to go. So they're ready to make a deal. They're going to horse trade with you. Be prepared to unload it. There might still be some goods in it. Be prepared to move it yourself, and be prepared to do it right away. The liquidator is going to like that. They don't want looky-loos, says, oh, I'll come back and get it later. No. They want cash, they want it now, and they want that thing moved. So if you have a truck, hand truck, get it out of there quickly. You're going to get a better deal. As I said, look for glass shelves. You want light to penetrate all the way through the case so that things you have in the bottom of the case are going to receive some light and be visible. So you need to have glass to allow the light to penetrate. If there isn't already lighting in there, you're a model railroader, you're probably going to be able to figure out the modest electronics necessary to install a light. You can see here on my project, I found one that fit kind of catty corner, which I thought was good because it would more evenly light the entire surface inside the display case. Just ran the cord out the back with a little inline switch. Done. Real easy. The valence needs to be light sealed a little bit. That's the only thing I really need to do to it. But I rarely look at it at night when there's no other ambient light, so it's not really obvious. Look for light interiors, look at the signage inside the display case, because you're going to have to remove signage and you're going to want to make the interior lighter to reflect light. So if it's dark in there, you may want to paint it, or as I did, replace the backing sheet, it's a thin backing sheet, with something pristine and white that will reflect light and make your models look better. You might want a lock, a way to secure the doors. Again, in these retail establishments, you know, what they used, what they have might not be ideal. Mine's got a lock at the bottom, which frankly is a pain. I'd much rather have it higher up, but that's the way it is. You know, there's no real modifying my case in order to make that work, but look for a way to close it. And always remember, a few coats of paint are probably going to solve a lot of problems. You don't have to replace a back. You can paint the inside. Now, keep your eyes open when you're at these liquidation events for other things. They're going to have things in the back of a retail store where the staff used to work, tools, carts, things that you might use around the layout or around the house. As an example, I went to a pharmacy that was shutting down and I got a pair of binoculars for $2. Binoculars that they use to spy on shoplifters, I'm going to use to rail fan for $2. So you just got to keep your eyes open. So those are my secrets for getting an inexpensive display case to display your beautiful work. Bob Johnson with PK&W Railroad signing off. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you like this content. Got a lot more coming, including some videos about my upcoming Gap Trail adventure, rail fanning on the Great Allegheny Passage. So please subscribe. Please hit the bell icon for future notifications. Until next time, happy modeling.